The John LeBang Show has been known to make people laugh, sing, think, scream, throw things in rage, and generally lose their minds. Listener discretion is advised.
Worldwide and out to the greater universe, you're listening to the John LeBang Show.
Greetings, Earthlings, and alert the media. This week's second hour of the John LeBang Show is on the air. Well, it only took a couple of days from the announcement, folks. Only a couple of days from me announcing that the Bubba Army Radio, Bubba the Love Sponge, and his network there has taken on the John LeBang Show to be part of their network, that I had a person all butthurt about it. A person who has been trying to compete with me. A show, he's a host of a show, and he's been trying to compete with me. And this morning I wake up and have my cup of coffee, kind of getting ready to start the show prep for the day, because I spend a lot of hours on show prep because I want to bring you a quality broadcast each and every week. And I get this email, actually a message on Facebook. The short of it was, "Hey dude, I see you're leaving the station. Good luck with you." And it's all sarcastic, right? Except I didn't know I was leaving the station. I had no idea. So I found that was funny. It's a little fishy. I sent him back a message. Who says I'm leaving the station? Well, apparently he did. Because I thought something suspicious was going on. Something stunk a little bit. I went on the website of the station, and everything John LeBang Show, everything that relates to it, is gone. Off the schedule. Yep. Not even on there. No posters, nothing, gone. I'm thinking, what's up? What happened? All I did was get picked up by a pretty decent radio network. Pretty major one. You'd think, I mean, this is just me, if I owned a radio station, you would think that since your number one show just got picked up by a major network, you would not kick him off the station or try to remove him from the station. You would do everything you possibly could to keep the guy on your station, and then highlight his show, because it's not only the biggest show on your network, it draws in the most listeners, has the chat room almost lit up every weekend. You think you would try to keep that guy, work out a deal, and then highlight him. Because, hey, now you can say, we carry the John LeBang Show, who gets so and so many listeners across the world. You think that, because, not to say, because I've got a long way to go with this radio show, ladies and gentlemen. I've got a long way to go. And I'm not bragging about being on the Bubba Radio Network. I've been putting in extra hours this week trying to make a super awesome broadcast, because I feel now like I have to step up my game. I mean, I just got drafted. You've got to improve on what you were doing and keep getting better. So I spent extra time prepping for the very first broadcast on the station, going the extra mile. I already spend maybe 6, 8, 10 hours on the show every day anyways, when I was on just all the local internet radio stations and a couple of the small FM stations and AM stations that I'm on across the world. So I already work hard. And because I worked hard, that gave me the opportunity. People heard what I was doing and thought I was good enough to be on their network, and I got picked up. And you think this person, these people at the station would be happy for me and would be highlighting the fact that I'm still on their station? No. Right away, they're butthurt because they've been in competition with me, or at least one of them has. So they're butthurt. So what do? Their reaction is, wipe me off the schedule. I don't even exist on their station anymore. Total emotional reaction. I can't help it that people are jealous of me. I'm looking at this as a huge opportunity, and I hope I'm worthy, and there's other people that are just mad at me for getting here. I haven't even proved anything on this big network yet. I'm going to have to work my butt off even more than I did before. And yet the people who are striving so hard, that's all they want to be is a radio guy, so they're striving so hard. And then when one of their own gets picked up, they get butthurt about it instead of saying, hey man, we've been here all along for you and we're going to continue to support you. Unlike some of the radio stations, one in particular in Florida, I want to give kudos to Mike out there at IRN. He's one of the big reasons why Bubba the Love Sponge even heard my show. IRN supports the John LeBang Show, and I haven't even been on as long as this other station. I think I'm like 7 or 8 months on IRN. There's a whole bunch of other stations that don't care how many other stations I'm on and have directly sent me messages saying, dude, that's awesome. And it is awesome. And yet I got people over here all butthurt about it instead of saying, John, that's freaking awesome. But that's what you got to deal with. And some other people have also come out because they think now I've hit the big time or something. And I've got to work hard at this. This is not going to be some easy thing. People, just because I've come here, I'm in the minor leagues, man. I'm in the minor leagues, and hopefully I can get to the major and be one of the big boys. But that's going to take time and more hard work. I'm trying to build a team as we speak because of how much things are progressing here at the John LeBang Show. So we should have a team put together real soon. If you have any qualifications that might help the John LeBang Show, be it social media, marketing, advertising, even audio and video, send us a resume to jlebang@live.com, and we're going to be looking them over the next few weeks and making some decisions on who we'd like to interview and maybe bring on the show. There's a lot of good things happening because now some doors are going to open for the John LeBang Show. Because they opened. We've got our toe in now, and we've got to not only we got to keep the toe in there in the door, and we got to kind of pry it open even more, and that's what the big plan is. And if it were me, and I was a host of another show or the owner of a station, I'd be supporting somebody who actually came from their station and went to the next level. I mean, why burn the bridge there?
Cool. Fire, 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 fire.
Like I said, there's been a lot of stations that have been supporting me. I've got a lot of positive feedback from owners of other stations that I'm on. So many co-hosts, so many other show hosts have sent me private messages just congratulating me for getting this far, which isn't that, far yet. I'm just in. If I stink it up in the next month, they can easily drop me. So what I've achieved as of right now is just getting my foot in the door, and hopefully I can produce quality radio, entertaining, maybe even enlightening a lot of people, so that I can not only continue to remain on the quality networks I'm on, but increase my listenership as well as the stations that want to carry the show. But really, this whole thing, I owe a lot of this to you, the listener, who comes each and every week, spends an hour or two with me while I discuss various topics, and you're here engaging yourself in the show, you're chatting in the chat rooms, and you're commenting on the videos. And I would have never gotten my foot in the door without you supporting me and you guys continually encouraging me and showing up and promoting me. The promotion of late, even before I announced the big Bubba Army Radio news, even before it had been blowing up, people were really sharing the information I was producing, really talking about the show, telling people about it. It's gone up tenfold now. So many more people out now give me a little credibility, something I didn't have. People that were close to me, Facebook friends and regular friends. I mean, I got a call from my brother, and he's like, dude, the talk show, because he works for a local news agency, and he basically said the guys, when he told the radio show guys what happened to me, they were like, dude, that's awesome. It's a big deal. Even guys that are on terrestrial radio know this is a big deal, and I'm hoping that I can keep producing quality information out, quality entertainment to all of you, so that not only can I thrive on Bubba Army Radio, but I can expand my audience and my listenership to keep growing and growing and growing, because that's the point here of the John LeBang Show. We want more people to listen in, tune in, and support the stations that support us, because we really appreciate the stations that take us on, and we promote the living heck out of every station that we're affiliated with. Yet I had one station who I've been promoting for 3 years now, heavily. I'm the number one show on the station. I promote more than the owners of the show promotes, or the owners of the stations promote. Yet because I'm growing, the guy gets butthurt and pretty much kicks me off the station. No notice, no anything. Doesn't even talk to me about, hey, dude, congratulations on getting that. What can we do to help your show out more? No, it's like, yeah, good luck, dude. See ya. That's what happens when you're in competition with people. And because I'm not in competition with anybody, the only person I have to compete against is myself. And I have to keep bettering myself. I'm not here to compete with this show or that show or this show or be on 12,000 million stations because it's cool to be on that many stations. I want to be on that many stations because I'm good at what I do. There goes the first 15 minutes of the show, right down the toilet. All I did was rant. More on the flip side, ladies and gentlemen, as the John LeBang Show brings you enlightenment, entertainment, and a whole lot of sassiness. Stay tuned.
Hey, don't touch that dial. The John LeBang Show will be right back.
I promise. If you are elderly, disabled, receiving SSI or Medicaid, and you have a medical need or require assistance with daily housework, shopping, grooming, medication, you may qualify for housekeeping at no cost. Call now. VIP Home Healthcare, 248-579-3805. VIP Home Healthcare, there when you need them. That's 248-579-3805. Check out the new book from Derek Shelmerdine,
Rock and Roll Unraveled.
It tells the story of rock and roll from its roots right up until the mid-70s punk.
Rock and Roll Unraveled.
Not just the music, but also the events that shaped the music.
Rock and Roll Unraveled.
It includes the backgrounds to recording sessions, singles, album releases, births and deaths, epic concerts, and festivals.
Rock and Roll Unraveled.
Shelmerdine has made a painstaking effort to document pretty much every event that would prove significant in shaping popular music.
Rock and Roll Unraveled.
Purchase the book at www.rockandrollunraveled.com. Follow him at Twitter at R&R Unraveled and look him up on Facebook at Rock and Roll Unraveled.
Rock and Roll Unraveled.
By author Derek Shelmerdine.
Available now.
Ladies, it doesn't matter if it's morning, noon, or night. Whether you've worked all day or you just woke up. If you got the thirst, just wet your lips on a BJ. BJ beer, brewed right here in the great state of Michigan. Who wants a BJ? You're listening to the John LeBang Show.
On the Radio Revolution, right here.
It's better than some good Thai stick, man.
Yes, I would like some too. So apparently the Shack Attack is the next celebrity who is in the thought pattern that, well, the earth is flat. So now we have this grand old argument being dredged up again. If you aren't aware of it, ladies and gentlemen, it's been a big thing on YouTube for 4 or 5 years now. Apparently there's evidence that the world is flat instead of round like science and your school books have taught you your entire life. I don't know why they're arguing about this. Whatever we're taught, it doesn't matter unless you're going up into space. What does it matter if your feet is planted here on the earth and you're not ever taking your feet off the ground except maybe in a plane, but you're never going into space? Why does it matter if the earth is round or flat? Now, it matters if they're lying to us, but overall, it's not going to affect my everyday life. I'm still going to get up in the morning and do what I have to do to get through the day, and then I'm going to go to bed, and the sun's going to come up in the east and set in the west, and the moon's going to follow its pattern, and none of that ever changes. So whether the world is round, as the conventional thinking agrees, or the earth is flat, it doesn't matter to us people who aren't ever going to go up into space. Now, if you like the idea of space travel and all these planets and how the solar system works, well then, that might bother you, but still, again, unless you're traveling up into space, it really doesn't matter because your feet are planted here on the earth and you're going to go about your daily routine. But Shaq is the probably most prominent person to come out and talk about how the earth is flat, bringing up that age-old argument. He's got his own show, The Big Podcast with Shaq. So apparently because he has this big degree that he thinks he knows the answer to whether the earth is flat or round. I mean, if I had to make a guess, if you take a look at the solar system and then you look at a molecule, there's a lot of things that are in common, and there's a greater likelihood that that's how the universe works. And the molecule with the electron and the neutron and the protons, and they're all... And if it's a flat earth, tell me why it matters to you, ladies and gentlemen. Tell me why it would matter to Shaq or anybody else. What does it change outside of, oh, history was wrong? Well, at one time Pluto was a planet, and now we had to accept that now Pluto is not a planet. So if we were to find out that the Earth is flat again versus it being round, what does it really matter? Sometimes we think smart people are stupid and stupid people are smart. And then we find out they are stupid. So it doesn't matter what our perceived notion is or what our education is, because if we were taught wrong, because the people who taught us didn't know the truth or were politically biased, then we would know what they know. Or what they taught. And then when something else comes up, we're going to just go, no, it can't be that way. Forget about it. That's because we get stuck in our little belief systems. And we don't use our mind in a creative, thoughtful way. They preach about this open mind mentality. I love it because an open mind can be filled like an open trash can with anything you want. But a thinking mind is one that logically sorts through all the information, catalogs everything, and then makes a reasonable decision based on that. But yet they preach, let's have an open mind. Let's have an open mind. Nope. I'd rather have a thinking mind. Thank you very much. And my thinking mind says the likelihood of the earth being flat is not very likely. The possibility of the earth being round, as in a globe or a semi-globe, something that resembles a globe, and it travels around the sun, just like a molecule, and the electrons and the protons travel around the nucleus there. That's the most likeliest scenario. It's just on a grander scale in the cosmos there, out in space. And it would be reasonable to think that beyond our universe is another layer that's even bigger, that our universe goes around just like the molecule does. That seems to be the nature of things, unless everything's a freaking lie. And then if everything's a freaking lie, then why do you believe anything they tell you? That goes back to what I've said 100 times. Don't believe anything anybody tells you. Research everything, trust nobody, and come up with the best answer for yourself. Because if you don't have all the information because it's not available, how can you make the proper determination? So you got to go with what you have and make your best guess off of that. I mean, how much of history has been changed or been morphed or been just left out, and there's no record of it, and we are basing some of our ideas off only the things we know, if you even know history. I mean, for a lot of people, history is from the day they were born till the day they die. And that's about it. Maybe a few years prior to to when they were born. But that's all they have. They don't go back thousands of years. That's why the global climate change thing can be perpetrated on most people because, well, they don't know how long, for one, that we've been actually calculating weather, which has only been a couple hundred years. And so when they say we have a record this or a record that, they're only counting on a couple hundred years because they don't have records before that. You get into the geologists, you can find some kind of records that can make determinations like what happened during the Cretaceous period when they had more CO2 in the atmosphere and they had more life on the planet and the planet was warmer and it seemed to be thriving. It was a tropical period. There was no ice on the planet. But people don't know most of that history because they only base their life on, from when they were born to when they die in a few years, maybe a generation before. If they even know that history, which most people, if you interviewed them on the street and try to get some history out of them, they would fail. Because, it's not important to people. And that's why we continue to make the same mistakes. We continue to put same kinds of politicians in office. And that's why we have reoccurring wars and the continuing problem with, refugees. We don't learn from our mistakes of the past because nobody even remembers the past because they don't even care. And that's why people, even people go through bad relationships doing the same old thing every single time. And they don't even learn from their own experience. So how could we expect people to learn anything that was way before their time? They don't even care about it. So when we talk about Shaq believing that there's a flat earth theory out there and that's his belief system, and then other people like scientists are going to say, no, we're on a globe. Well, it's a belief system that you're taught. And one, it might be right and the other one's going to be wrong if the one's right. It's like, is there a God or isn't there a God? How did the universe begin? Did it matter? It doesn't matter how the universe began. We're here. Be lucky it happened. Whatever happened, we're here. Otherwise, you'd be nothing. And all those little joys you have in your life, you wouldn't even have them. They wouldn't even exist. And we're worried about the flat earth theory, and we're worried about if the earth is round or how the universe began. Give me a break, folks. We've got things that actually affect our lives here, right now happening, and we're arguing about this. Who cares? That's the music, folks. That means we're up against a break. 30 minutes left in this week's broadcasting. Heading your way, so stay tuned.
Don't go anywhere. The John LeBang Show will be right back.
You'd be crazy to change the dial now.
CRRM, CarePoint Billing Services. Their billers and managers are all dedicated to working for you to increase your profits. For more information, call CRRM at 248-579-3805. CRRM, CarePoint Billing Services.
Fans, do you need a video for your brand new song but don't have a lot of money? Then contact John LeBang. His reasonable rates, professional look, and fast turnarounds will help get that song off the ground. Contact him at jlebang.com.
And allow me to do a little bit of self-promotion. If you like what you're hearing on the John LeBang Show and you would like to know more, then feel free to go to my website. That's www.jlebang.com. Please check out the archives of the show, maybe watch some videos or listen to some music, and maybe even go to our store to help out the cause. Now, if you want to contact the John LeBang Show, there's one quick and easy way. Just email us at jlebang@live.com. We accept band submissions, articles, even pictures of your naked girlfriend. Now, if you like videos, then you can go to our YouTube channel. That's youtube.com/LeBangYourHead. Or you can look us up in the search engine by typing in Banger Incorporated. Now, if you're on Twitter, we are on Twitter, and join us and follow us on Twitter at John LeBang. And if you're tweeting about us, just use the hashtag Banger. Now, finally, if you're on Facebook, then look us up on Facebook at The John LeBang Show and like that page, because we like it when you like that page. This half hour is brought to you by Pane and the Glass Window Cleaning for a beautiful sparkling shine that's crystal clear. Call Pane and the Glass Commercial and Residential Window Cleaning. You can find them on Facebook at Pane and the Glass.
Hey, man, it's at the bottom of the hour, man. Do you know where your kids are, man?
You know, it's simple. The Shaq thing, the problem I had with one of the radio hosts, people in religions, little secret societies, all these political parties, they're all the same. Everybody has their own little clique, own little thing, and they can't mind their own business. And they got to shove it in your face, or they got to get up all in your business and assume that they know what they're talking about when they don't have but maybe 2% of the information. They just make up the other 90% of it. And that leads to all these problems between people and groups. And, everybody just mind your own business. Tend to your own matters. Make sure what you're doing is the right thing and the good thing and the thing that best suits your life. And don't worry about what other people are doing. And when someone you know achieves something, does something, no matter how small it is, be okay to give the dude a pat on the back. Wouldn't hurt. I mean, life can be a real struggle out there, and we find ways to make it even harder. And it's all because we don't mind our own business, tend to our own matters. If you want to believe whatever you want to believe, that's fine. I had this one schmendrick come on my Facebook page, 2 weeks ago. I had made a post that Donald Trump needs to really get rid of all the Obama leftovers out of the White House, out of the government, because they are part of the reason why there's things dragging down with Donald Trump. He's got internal enemies, and when you have internal enemies, you can't move forward the way you promised, because people are going to put roadblocks in the way. And the only way to get rid of those roadblocks is to eliminate them. Well, this schmendrick, this schmeckel, a dude I was in a band with for years, starts trolling my page. I mean, the guy does it every so often. Like he has nothing better to do. He's angry that day. Let's go on John's Facebook page, find something to be angry about, and then troll the living crap out of him. Or video, because you get the YouTube videos and the trolls on YouTube the same way, They'll take up, 40 comments. Why not? Because that's their page, right? No, it's not your page. If you mind your own business, you can post whatever you wanted on your page, and you can troll all you want on your own page. But no, people have to come over because you don't believe what they believe. Whatever they might believe, it's something different than you believe. And because you don't believe what they believe, they've got to shove it in your face, make you uncomfortable, whatever, until you believe what they believe. I mean, you get some religions out there that do the same thing. You get political parties that do the same thing. You can't get away from people shoving their beliefs in your face. And if everybody would just mind their own business, they could believe whatever they wanted to believe, and we wouldn't have to fight about it, because I wouldn't have to get angry because you keep putting your beliefs in my face and I don't want to believe it. Sorry, I don't believe that. My research suggests something different. And so this guy just continued, a bunch of posts, and because I've dealt with him before, the trolls, certain ones will come out at certain times. And you know their names, whether it be on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, whatever. And so I dealt with the guy. I already knew the guy personally. Boy, do I have some inside information on him that I could release and really blow his world and show how credible his belief system is. But I answer him by saying, dude, go away. I'm not going to play your troll little game. Comes back and calls me some kind of fascist because I don't want to have 50 posts that take up my whole wall from him. If he has that much to say, that much to post, he can do it on his Facebook wall. I thought that's why we had our own walls, was to post our stuff. If you want to post somebody else's stuff or post on somebody else's wall, I think you should ask them permission first. That's like sticking a sign on somebody's property. I'm just going to stick a sign in my belief system on your property here and expect you just to put up with that and not take it down. But that's what we got to deal with these days. Everybody's become radicalized in their beliefs systems, and they feel they have to push it on everybody. You see the people at the protests, and because they're not getting their way, they're breaking things. It's like, just because you aren't swaying our hearts and minds to your belief system, don't try to break our stuff. That's sure as heck not going to sway my beliefs. That's going to tell me exactly what I think about you is right. Oh, this guy is a lunatic. This guy is a crazy. He's a maniac. Everything I thought about this person, this idiot, well, it's true. I mean, a person, if you're going to debate something or if you're trying to sway people's heart, a little sugar goes a lot further than sitting there pouring vinegar all over them or gasoline on them and setting them on fire. Bring some logic to the table. Bring some facts. Bring some, some evidence to support your belief versus opinion pieces. I mean, we all opine here on the radio. We all opine on the main news networks and the mainstream fake news. So opinion doesn't mean it's fact. Your opinion doesn't make something fact because you believe it, as it doesn't make my beliefs fact. That's why I present evidence when I'm bringing something across to you, when I'm trying to show you something. I bring some evidence, and then I say, you know what? Don't believe me, because I don't want you to believe me. I want you to go out there and find out that stuff for yourself. It's much better if you learn about it on your own than if I'm shoving it down your throat. You're not going to want to hear me out. But apparently to a whole bunch of people, it's just fine to go out there and force your beliefs on the rest of us, whether we want to believe it or not. We see it in certain parts of the world even more than we do here. That first world and the third world. But we're not going to change. Not anytime soon, anyways. They've got us so divided. They've got us so at each other's throats on every little issue. They've got women fired up in the country that women have it probably as good as they've ever had it ever in the world. And yet, they're mad about something. They've got this group and that group at each other's throats. They've got this political party and this political party fighting amongst each other, just tearing each other apart. I mean, I thought we were the United States. We're not united. We're so divided and fragmented and broken into pieces. I don't know if we can ever be united again. That's why when California was suggesting they might try to, we're going to maybe leave the union, I was like, see ya. Leave it. Take it. Gone. Why do I care? We're not a united country. And we're not going to be for an awfully long time, because the powers that be have forced a divide between every single segmented group in the nation. They have found reasons for this group to hate that group, and that group to hate this group over there. And they've highlighted those reasons. They've not worked on what makes us all about the same. I mean, we are the human race, although they try to segment us in this race and that race and this group and this group and this political party and this social group and this religion and that religion. Doesn't matter what religion you are, doesn't matter what party you're from, doesn't matter what secret society you're from. Most of us are human beings. I say most of us because some out there, I don't know what they are. And it's getting worse by the day. Walk around the grocery store and you're like, what the heck is that? Where did that come from? What planet is that from? Then sometimes I think I wake up and I'm in a different altered reality. I'm like, somebody, did they drop me off? Did I had a time shift? Did the Mandela effect really happen? That's why I don't go out much anymore. I walk out in the world, I'm like, oh my God, what happened here? Why do people do that to themselves? I don't know. So I stay home, a little reclusive, I guess. And I do the radio show. We got to take a break, folks. Up against the hard break here. Last segment coming your way after this.
Don't touch that dial. The John LeBang Show will be right back.
You can bet on it, man.
Powerful, epic music by Toothbox Row. Life-changing lyrics come in every style, empowering humanity to finally unlock the chains of bondage. Experience the edgy side of positive music and rock your world today. From Primal to Divine, available now at sassyalternativemusic.com.
If you're getting married soon and you need good entertainment, you need to contact John LeBang. He's got 30 years of experience of wedding entertainment under his belt, and there is no one better and no one cheaper. He's running a special to the end of the year, $500 for your wedding if you book now. Contact John LeBang by email at jlebang@live.com or go to his website. That's www.jlebang.com.
And I'd like to welcome our new sponsor, Pane in the Glass, commercial and residential window cleaning. For a beautiful, sparkling shine that's crystal clear, call Pane in the Glass Window Cleaning. You can find them on Facebook at Pane in the Glass.
If you want to contact the John LeBang Show, feel free to send an email to jlebang@live.com. And if you're on Twitter, look him up at John LeBang. And don't forget to go to his Facebook page at The John LeBang Show. Banger. Now here's John.
Oh, folks. So during the break, I go and look at my email. This is good. And apparently, the guy not only took me off the schedule, but he apologized now, or I should say, he texted me back. Not an apology exactly, but I am now reinstated as a group administrator because I guess he went all out and unadministrated me. I mean, it's just too funny, ladies and gentlemen, because really, I'm nobody yet. I haven't done anything in the radio business yet. I'm just growing here, and I'm getting my little toe in the door here. And somebody gets all butthurt about it because I guess I know why, because this person in general has been in direct competition. He's been in competition with me. Not that I've been in competition with him. I don't really even pay attention to what goes on there with their show and everything. But I started syndication before this show did. I was on the one station. I did some syndication. I got on a couple stations. I mean, he freaked out when I went from just their station to going on 2 more stations. This guy thought I was leaving back then and started freaking out. So he might be, he might just be a little bit of an emotional person. We'll just say that. And apparently now that I've made it to a decent little network here, I'm people are mad at me. I'm sorry, dude. It's just funny. And I didn't know I got the full-blown cancellation there. I was even unadministrated from the page. I guess I've been re-administrated. I got a letter not only from the one owner who was very cold in his apology. He's just like, the dude feels bad. Your show will be on our station as long as you want it on our station. And the other dude was just like, my bad. So, have you ever been unfriended by somebody on Facebook and because they got butthurt over something you did? So what else has happened to me? I think there's a ghost in my house. Things keep getting moved, and my video camera's been turned off a couple times while I was filming over the past week, and I'm just like, what the heck's going on with that? Normally it runs fine, and it seems to be functioning fine, but apparently there's a ghost in my house or something. I don't know. So there's that to worry about in case I'm being, I might have to get one of those exorcists the Pope was talking about a week ago. He was talking about having more people exercise or having more exorcists out there because there's a rise in some kind of demonic possession of people. I would believe it. The world's crazy. Why wouldn't there be a rise of demonic possession? I think people are just evil in general. That's what I think. But that's the negative view on people. I could have the positive view on people that, there are so many nice people and there are only a few people that'll be bad on the planet, and I don't know. I can't tell you that's the truth or not. I just know by my experience there's a lot more bad than there are good people. So here in the last few minutes before Shady comes in, I wanted to bring up this little subject. We talk about music here on the John LeBang Show from time to time and try to give bands little tips and all. And I came across this article on one of the sites that I frequent, and it's mostly for cover bands. It's Cover Band Central, and so there's some free pub for you guys there. They had an article up talking about how it's best that bands use click tracks, even cover bands, when they're performing live. I know I'm a huge fan of the click track in the studio, and I've tried to get drummers, and they seem to be the most anti-click track in the band. They are definitely opposed to the click track, and I can understand because it restrains them. The band follows them, but when they're restrained to holding a steady beat, sometimes you'll come out of a fill and the song will just be a little faster coming out of a fill, because that's just, human nature when you're rocking out on stage and, your emotions are going and they're flying. Sometimes when a drummer comes out of a roll and gets back into the beat, it's the tempo's picked up just a little bit. And that's why I'm a proponent of the click track in the studio, because you definitely do not want tempo changes going on when you're recording a song, unless it's supposed to have a tempo change. But if the song's at 125 beats a minute, you want it at that the entire length of the song, especially like a dance song or something, because if the beats change and the tempo change, that dance, people can't keep dancing. Not that I write dance songs. I'm more of a hard rock, alternative metal type of guy. Think Black Sabbath, AC/DC, Clutch, Nirvana, Soundgarden. That you get that little mix in there, and then a little Pink Floyd maybe sprinkled in there, and that's what you get with John LeBang here. But I know there are a lot of drummers who are completely opposed to the click track, and you're always having to fight with them, even in the studio, to play the click track, let alone live. That's almost unheard of, at least in the local scene here in Detroit, having a drummer play to a click track. I have seen a few, and it does cost money because you got to get the earpiece, and you have to have an iPad or an iPod or something that can play your click track. I mean, you can do it with your phone nowadays because your phone's this mini computer and it has a media player in there, so it's not as difficult as it used to be. But what I found is that drummers tend to not want to do the click track because it restrains them in case they feel it picking up from a roll and coming into the beat again. They actually have to slow down and back into the actual click. And for people who don't know what I'm talking about, a click track is just a measure of time, of speed, basically, in a song. So it just clicks along, click, 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 click at a certain speed, and then you play along with that to keep the tempo of the song constant. And when you don't have those sort of things, and especially in the realm of playing live, sometimes a drummer, especially, because everything is based on the drummer's speed. If the drummer goes faster, everybody else is going to play faster, which causes some problems, especially for me who's a vocalist. And when I'm writing a song at a certain tempo, and I'm used to singing it at that tempo, and then all of a sudden we're playing live and it's 5 or 6 beats per minute faster, it becomes extremely difficult to hit notes because you get a breathing going when you're in a song. There's a certain breathing that you use for each song, and I don't know if a lot of vocalists think of it this way, but how you put how your melodies are and your lyrics are, there's breathing that also flows within those rhythms there. And when it's okay, when you're all of a sudden faster, it's harder to keep that rhythmic breathing going at the proper speed because you can't, because everything else is faster. And when you're especially a vocalist, and even some guitar players and bass players will tell you, once you're to a certain speed that's not normal, it's just too fast, it's even hard to play some songs because the notes were placed in a certain pattern because it fit the tempo of the song and blah, blah, blah. When you go too fast, then your fingers got to go real too fast, really fast when they're not supposed to. And it's the same with the breathing and the singing. And so I really try to get my drummers to use the click track. When I recorded the drums on my Rid album back in 2003 and 4, I played to a click track, and I know how hard it is. So I understand the reasoning behind the drummer not wanting to use it, because it can be a real pain to keep up with that click track, because 9 times out of 10, you'll want to go a little bit faster. But this thing will keep you in line. And I have mad respect for drummers that can play along with the click track, because it's not easy. Not every drummer can do it, and that's why they oppose it so much. Currently, I'm trying to get our drummer to work with a click track, and that's been a sore subject in itself. We got to work on that. He tends to play this one song, really great song, probably our best or our second best song, depending on the genre of music you like. And you're hearing some back information, folks. I didn't really tell anybody about this band till just now, so we're secretly writing an album is what we're doing, and we haven't officially announced anything yet, but now you're hearing some rumors that aren't so rumorish because you're hearing it from the source. So we have this one song that has to be played at this specific tempo. 1 beat per minute is too much for the vocals. I can't hit the notes. I've got to change directions at a faster rate, and it's extremely hard. And we're working on this song, trying to nail it down. It's so difficult because the song's great. I wrote it to a click track, of course, because that's how I write. I love, my my timing is pretty darn good because my entire career I've played to a click track. So it's when I know exactly when the timing is off from a song. I can tell, and I try to give visual notes to the drummer. Hey, we're going too fast, but sometimes drummers don't pay attention. And it's once you're going too fast, slowing down a song during the song is not a good thing. So I say, bands, here, get your drummer to play to a click track. It'll sound just like the album every single time, and you won't have to worry about miss notes, screwing up as often.
Hey, John, you ready for me yet?
Hey, Shady. I forgot all about it.
What do you mean you forgot all about it? We do this every hour.
Yeah, well, I had a lot on my mind this hour.
Yeah, I heard you. Blaring throughout the whole place.
I was thinking, do you want to just switch this up and the second hour we're going to do open lines instead of Cool or Be Cool?
What, are you firing me?
No, I'm not firing you.
You got some kind of ego now that you're on some big station?
No, Shady, I don't have an ego. I was just thinking that maybe we would switch it up back to some open lines, get some people to talk about some other things.
Well, I don't think that's a good idea, and I think you're trying to fire me.
No, we're still going to have the Cool or Uncool in the first hour.
But my contract says once an hour, so that means I want to be here doing Cool or Uncool.
Well, you can sit in on the open lines.
Listen, we're going to do Cool or Uncool, but we're going to have a problem here.
Shady, put the gun down.
I'm not playing now, John.
Shady, this isn't funny.
Tell me what I want to hear, John.
Well, what do you want to hear?
That we're doing Cool or Uncool.
All right, fine, we're doing Cool or Uncool. But it's got to be short because we're at the end of the show and I've talked too much.
How are you supposed to keep your fans interested if the best part of the show is preempted by your big mouth?
But like I said in the first hour, it's the John LeBang Show. If I want to preempt something, I can. That's in your contract.
Well, I want to renegotiate.
So do you have a Cool or Uncool?
I did until now.
What do you mean that you did until now?
You put me in a bad mood, John.
Let's face it, Shady, you're always in a bad mood.
Well, it's worse.
So what was the Cool or Uncool?
People minding their own business.
See, we can use that right now. You want to man the phones?
No, I'm just going to stand here and listen.
Okay. Our first call goes out to New York. Donald, what say you?
I'm a huge fan of your mother.
Thanks for your call.
I should have known he was going to call.
Out to Hawaii. Barry, what say you?
I inhaled.
Oh, he's still calling?
Well, he's got more time on his hands now, Shady, now that he's lost his job.
Thank God for that.
You want to look at the emails at least?
All right, give me one of them.
Well, what does it say?
I don't know if I should read this one on the air, John.
Well, who's it from?
Vanessa.
Yeah, you're probably right. Just throw it in the trash.
That's probably a good idea.
We've got time for one more call.
Is this John Lennon?
No, and thanks for your call. Well, that wraps it up, Shady.
All right, but next time, don't talk so much and let me have my time on the radio, please.
Well, you were on the first full segment this week. And Cool or Uncool. How much time do you want?
I told you. I want my own show.
Start a YouTube channel.
That's a good idea. Bye.
And that's it, ladies and gentlemen, for yet another week of broadcasting of the John LeBang Show. It's hydroponic radio for your brain. I'd like to give one big last thank you to the Bubba Radio Network, Bubba the Love Sponge, Rob, and everyone over there at Bubba Army Radio. Don't forget to go to my website. That's www.jlebang.com. I'd like to thank all of my affiliate stations and you, the listener, for tuning in each and every week and supporting the broadcast. And until the vibrations of my vocal cords reach your ears again, this is John LeBang signing off from the Banger Studios.
6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We have liftoff. Tune in again next week. Same time, same space, same station.
Resistance is futile.
Computer, activate the emergency medical doctor. Please state the nature of the medical emergency. Listen, Doc, I got a problem.
Do you have a rash?
No.
Do you need blue ointment?
No, I'm good there, too.
Then what do you need?
Well, it's about my nephew, Doc.
What about him?
He's been watching way too much porn tube, and things are getting messy.
Well, what do you want me to do?
Well, can you give me something for it?
I'm a doctor, not a sexologist.
Well, what does that mean?
You need to get yourself a specialist. Thank you for using the virtual medical doctor. Now, goodbye.
Stupid doctors don't know anything these days.